We are going to be working with solving systems of equations, the elimination method, part 2. All right, so far we have all, we should all be able to do the 2 problems that are on the board right here. The first thing you're going to remember is in the elimination method, your job is to get rid of one of the variables so that they can cancel out, and then you can solve for one of the variables. Then you're going to plug it back in and get the answer for the other variable. So I'm going to quickly do these 2. When I look at this problem, I'm thinking, all right, which letters are going to cancel out the most easily? And that's going to be the y's, because one is positive and one is negative. So all I really need to do is just go like this, add, right? When I add them together, they cancel out, and I'm going to get 2x, and 7 and negative 3 added together is 4. So we know that x is going to be 2, right? And then if I plug in the value 2, I'm going to ask myself 2 plus what is 7? So we know y is going to be 5, right? And we know that we need to go down here and just make sure. X is 2. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. Yeah, that's correct. And we always need to make sure that we write our answers as an ordered pair. So the answer for that one is 2, 5. This one, I'm just going to walk you through real quick. If I want to eliminate the most easily, the first thing I'm going to go is, okay, which ones cancel out, right? Well, the y's don't right now because one is negative 2y and the other one's positive 8y. But the x's do because one's 6 and the other one's negative 6. So they would cancel out. I would add, solve for y, get the answer, and plug it back in. Okay, so you should be in good shape for that. You should have seen the video from 2 classes ago, and you should be ready to move on to the next part. All right, so here we go. This is the next part. Now, what if I asked you, how do you solve this one? When you first look at it, you're going to go, this is weird. I have the x's lined up, I have the y's lined up, and the constants, but what's the problem? Yeah, the problem is that nothing cancels out, right? So we're going to make it cancel out. So, you know me, I like to do this as easy as possible. Can I just multiply one whole equation and change the way it looks so that it will cancel out? Yeah. If I think about it, this x, if this was right here, a positive 4, wouldn't it cancel out when I added them together? I hope you're saying yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, okay, so what do I multiply this by to make it positive 4? And yeah, I have to multiply the entire row by positive 4. Okay, so now this is what I do just so you don't have to write a bunch of stuff. I go right underneath it, and I'm going to write my new equation under this one, okay? So we're going to multiply everything in the row by 4. So 4 times x is going to give us 4x. 4 times negative 5y is going to give us negative 20y. And 4 times 4 is 16. So now we don't need the top equation anymore because we're all done with it, right? We don't even, I'm just going to cover it up so that you don't get mixed up. All right, let's see, making that. Okay, so now that disappeared. Now if I look at it, on the bottom, I have a new set of equations, right? So now all I'm going to do is go, all right, just do the stuff like we did before. Which variables are going to cancel out? And I know you're saying the x's, of course. So when the x's are added together, the 2 rows are added together, that cancels out. 6y and negative 20y will give us negative 14y. And 12 plus 16 will give us 28. Then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 14, and y is negative 2. All right, now we're halfway done. So now I could actually, if I wanted to, go back and use the original equation, the middle equation, or the new equation, and plug in negative 2 for the y. I'm actually going to go back to the original equation because I think that's the easiest. So I'm going to erase the stuff that we had before, okay? And then I'm going to go where y is, I'm going to put negative 2 because now we need to find what x is, right? So I'm going to just copy the x over. Negative 5 times negative 2 is a positive 10. and my constant was a 4, right? And now we need to solve for x. So you could use mental math, or you could just go, well, x plus 10 is 4. I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides, and that's going to give me that x is negative 6. So my solution is negative 6, negative 2. And if you plug it in to one of the other equations, which we should just use the middle one is fine. Negative 4 times negative 6 is 24, and 6 times negative 2 is negative 12, and 24 take away 12 is 12. So yeah, that worked, and that is your solution. Okay? And again, if you need to pause or rewind it and do it again, please do that. Okay, we're going to move on to a couple more. All right. So now this is where you're going to copy the problems down, and you are going to follow along with me, and you're going to, at the end, turn in a picture of your work. So here, I'm going to walk you through them. All right. So you have a choice. You can make the y's cancel out, but that's going to be hard to do it in one move, right? Because you can't turn 3 into a 4 or a 4 into a 3 very easily. But if you look at the x's, these are easier to make opposites, right? What do you have to multiply the top row by to make this into a negative 10? Well, I hope you're saying 5. And that's what I will totally agree with you. Okay, so now I'm going to go and if you're confused by writing it underneath, you could always write it side by side. I'll do that here just to show you that you can. Multiply everything by 5, so you're going to get negative 10x minus 15y equals, let's see, 65. And then on the bottom, you're going to just copy that over. So you're going to get 10x plus 4y. Sorry that I write so bad with my mouse. And now you're going to go, okay, we have opposites, so we're good with that, right? The x's will cancel out. And then when I add negative 15y and positive 4y, that's going to give us negative 11y. And 65 and 12 is 77, right? And then if I divide both sides by negative 11, we get y is negative 7. And remember, you can pause if you need to. Okay, so now we're going to go, all right, I'm going to plug in that value for y into the top row or the bottom row. You know me and negative numbers, right? I am actually going to plug it into the bottom row, but you could do whatever you want. So now I'm going to just go, all right, 10x minus 28 equals 12. And we're going to solve for x. So we're going to go add 28. Ooh, we get 10x is 40. And if I divide both sides by 10, we get x equals 4, right? So our solution for that problem, I'm going to write it over here, is going to be 4 comma negative 7. And you should take out a calculator or your brain and just make sure that it works, right? Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. Negative 3 times negative 7 is 21. And 21 minus 8 is 13, so it definitely works. So that was number 1. You should have that one written down on your paper. Your name should be on it. And I'm going to do 3 more problems with you. Okay? So now this one, you have a choice again. You could cancel out the x's if you want to by multiplying the bottom row by negative 4. Or you could multiply, you could, you could eliminate the y's by multiplying the top row by 2. It's really up to you. I think I'm just going to go for the top row, but you could do whatever you want. So if I multiply the top row by 2, and how funny, the 2 is right there. That was the problem number, but hey, let's go with it. If I multiply the top row by 2, I'm going to, put it in parentheses, we're going to get 8x minus 6y is 14. The number one mistake people make is that they don't multiply all of the terms. So just make sure you do that. And then you shouldn't have really any problems, okay? Then I'm going to go on the bottom, just copy it. X plus 6y is 22. Okay, and now we can say, all right, yeah, we have opposites right here. They will cancel out. And when I'm going to add straight down, 9x is 36 and x is 4, right? That one was quicker than the first one. So now, which one do you think you want to plug in the 4? The top or the bottom? I know I want to plug it in right here because the top one, I don't want to have to mess with that 4, right? So if I just go, all right, let me plug in my 4. 4 plus 6y is 22. And we're going to solve for y. We're going to subtract 4. We're going to get 6y is 18. Hey, it's my birthday, June 18th. Divide both sides by 6. Oops, sorry. I'm trying to write divide by 6. And we get y is 3. So now our solution is x is 4 and y is 3. Make sure you put them in the right order. And then if I go up here and just make sure, 4 times 4 is 16, minus 9 is 7. Yes, that did work. So then we should be okay with that one. All right, 2 more that I'm going to do with you. Here we go. This one. All right, what's the choice? We can eliminate the x's or eliminate the y's. Which one can we do in one move? Yeah, the y's, right? So the y's, if we think, how do I get them to be opposites? If this is a positive 8, then they will be opposites, right? So 4 times what will give us positive 8? We're going to need to multiply the top row by 2, right? So I'm going to just distribute. So I have negative 4x plus 8y is negative 24. The bottom row, I'm going to change colors. So you can see it's 3x minus 8y is 16. And then we just say, all right, we have our opposites, the 8y's. When I add straight down, I'm going to get negative 1x, because negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. And negative 24 plus 16, what's that going to give you? That's going to give you 8. Is it going to be positive or negative? You better be saying negative, right, kiddo? And then I need to make the x positive, right? So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1. And I'm going to get x is 8. And now I'm going to choose which equation I plug in the 8. I know I'm going for the bottom equation. So right here, I'm going to put an 8. And I'm going to go, all right, 24 minus 8y is 16. Let's solve for y by subtracting 24. Right? And then I'm going to get negative 8y is negative 8. And then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 8. Right? That cancels out. And y is going to give us 1. So that solution for that problem was x is 8 and y is 1. And if we plug it into the top, just to check, we would get negative 16 plus 4 is negative 12. And yes, that worked. Remember, you can replay it if you need to. All right, last one I'm going to do with you. So now this is number 4. You can choose to get rid of your x's or your y's. Which one is the one you can do in one step? Hope you're saying the y's, right? If I think about how to make them opposites, the bottom is negative 5. The top is really a 1, right? So what do you need to multiply 1 by to make it into positive 5? So yeah, the answer is 5, right? So you're going to multiply the whole row by positive 5. So you're going to get 20x plus 5y equals negative 80, sorry. That's going to be 50 and 30, right? So negative 80. And now the bottom row, I'm going to have 3x minus 5y equals negative 12. And you always want to make sure that you have opposites, which we sure do right there in the y's, right? When we add, they cancel out. 20x plus 3x is 23x. And negative 80 and negative 12 is negative 92. So now we just need to divide both sides by 23. Divide by 23. And x is going to be negative 4. And now we're going to choose where we plug it in to find the answer. I think we're going to go for the top one this time. So I'm going to plug it in right there. Okay. So I'm going to go 4 times negative 4 is negative 16 plus y is negative 16. This one you should be able to figure out right now, right? If I add 16 to both sides, your values cancel, and you get y equals 0. I like that. Now your solution is going to be negative 4, 0. Sorry, that 0 looked weird, huh? All right, now to make sure, you plug it in. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Minus 0 is negative 12. Yeah, that's correct. All right. Now, you're going to do 2 problems on your own. You're going to do number 5 and number 6. For this one, you should have for sure which letter you're going to cancel out. This one you can choose. You could make your x's cancel or your y's cancel. It's really up to you. All right, just please make sure that you show me your work and that when you're done, you submit your work through the Google form. All right? Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.